All right. Now that everyone knows Aaron loves me, and it is recorded and live, that's a good thing. Welcome everyone to session 7.
No, 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 no. Because until I say my fucking piece, we're not doing anything. I
Okay.
will just say, there's lots of shit on video. Doesn't mean it's true.
Wolf's got a new sub noise.
Oh man, there it is. There it is. All right. Well, hey everyone. Welcome to session 7 of Dragons Demand, a Pathfinder First Edition actual play run by myself and 5 amazing friends of mine who are great role players, and I really enjoy playing with them. And even Aaron. Even Aaron. He's a good man. He's a very, very good man. But we're going to go around the table. We're going to have everyone introduce themselves. Today, we're going to be a little crazy. We're actually going to go Aaron, Atomic, Patrick, Zeb, and Blau. We're going to go in reverse order because I'm feeling just
Holy
woo,
shit.
wild and uncontrollable. There it is. So take it away, Aaron.
Hi, I'm Zeb, and I'm going to be playing the Misanthrope Ranger Gris Frutson tonight.
All right. Go ahead, Atomic.
Also, Wolf, I'm in the wrong place.
No, you're not.
I'm on the wrong camera. No, because you got me listed in here as like this fucking Aaron douchebag. I'm not that. I'm not that guy.
God damn it.
Why do I gotta be Aaron?
Aww.
Oh
Sucks.
shit!
I hate Aaron.
Ow.
I don't want to be a pirate.
I don't want to be a pirate.
Nah, shit. I'm Aaron. You guys know who I am. I'm happy to be here. I got off work 10 minutes before the Zoom call came up, and I haven't eaten today, but let's fucking go.
Let's play some Pathfinder. Atomic.
I'm Atomic, and play Calgadir, the Blood Rager. So it's time to crash and smash.
I'm Patrick. I play Lucas, the half-elf and bearded cleric of Milani.
Aaron stole my bit already, so I'm Zeb. I play Gris.
Aw. And who else do you play?
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's right. I have the goodest boy who has bitten 3 of my fingers, Boris.
Boris. Boris the Wolf Dog.
is he
He's
invincible?
just Wolf.
And I'm Blau. I'm playing Epius, also known as the Dr. Frankenstein of the party.
That's true. That's true. And of course, I am Darren
Yeah.
Wolf, the Game Master. Super excited to be here as always. During our last session, the group of adventurers, the supposed saviors of the town of Belhaim, had delved into the kobold den below the quarry, and it got a little dicey. Let's be honest, it got a little bit dicey there partway through the fight, but through sheer will and force of personality and some really good rolls, you came out the other side. You came out the other side stronger, wiser, and informed that a particular tavern owner had been working with the kobolds, not in a evil, horrible sort of way, but apparently she was feeding them and keeping them really at bay in the interest of the town. At least that's the story that the one kobold gave you. But upon returning to town, you all noticed that the villagers themselves seemed, I suppose it would be disturbedly, more at peace. They seemed very calm. The weather had cleared, the ground had dried, not completely, it still showed signs of having rained. But the village itself, the town itself, seemed very at ease, as though this shadow, this like strange feeling had been lifted, this darkness that was surrounding the village that I described. But you all have had a week's time to settle back in, work on side projects. The mayor met with you, thanked you profusely for clearing out the kobolds, and actually asked you all to stay on until the sheriff himself returned from being away. He was returning a criminal, the criminal that was actually the original guy that had hired you back before session 1. So she'd asked you to stay on just to keep the villagers. She said your presence seems to really keep the villagers at peace and at ease. But I'm curious. I'd like to go around the table really quick. What was everyone up to over this last week? And I'd like to start with Epius.
He spent a lot of time studying those spell books and transcribing scrolls from his book and those books as well.
Okay.
And probably running some experiments with with Scraps the Golem.
I like it. Any experiments of note?
Just kind of seeing how he reacts to commands and trying to pace out and tease out how his berserker rage works and like in what situations that might trigger or he might get pushed towards that eventuality.
What I'd like you to do, Epius, is I'd like you to roll me a knowledge arcana check. That was a 25. Wow, 25 was the DC I had in my head. Holy shit. All right, so here's the thing. Through your intense study and practicing with the golem, you've actually figured out kind of the precursor. There's this kind of ripple, this kind of like twitch that travels through the golem's body moments, roughly 6 seconds around, you could say, before it's about to go berserk. And what that's going to do is it's going to translate into, as long as you make a DC 20 knowledge arcana check right the round that it goes berserk, you can stop it from going berserk once per combat.
Okay, and I take it that's my action as well.
That would be your full round. It'd be a standard
That's
action, basically to exert your power, your arcane power control over it. It allows you to have the golem, basically, I'll say it can re-roll the berserk chance. And so you get a chance to stop it from going berserk. How does that sound?
Okay, awesome. That sounds great. Wow.
All right, perfect. And then let's see here. And then we're going to pivot over to Zeb. Zeb, what was Gris up to over the last couple of days?
He's just been patrolling the woods for kobolds.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of trying to help out the village itself with menial tasks, and he met his best buddy.
Jesus Christ.
He doesn't consider him a pet so much as I give him chicken. He doesn't take the others.
He doesn't bite you hard.
So
it's good. It's good. That's good. I like that. So Gris, while you were out in the forest one day, and this is after you had met Boris. Boris is crouched low next to you, and you've only been really interacting with him for several days, but there is this kind of very like deep, innate kind of connection you feel with the animal, and it's almost like it understands you, you understand it. It still bites you sometimes, but that's what wolves do. It is what it is. But as you are crouched at the edge of this kind of thick tree line, this is near where the quarry was, sort of maybe about a half a mile outside of town. You're crouched near the tree line, and you're right near where the dragon fen kind of opens up into these more like plains-like area. So there's some thick forest near the flooded quarry. You're right at the edge of the old quarry road, looking out towards the dragon fen. And there's some hills, and there's a river that travels up the Rogue Creek. And as you're looking around, you watch as Boris gets very low to the ground, as though he smells something. His nose is doing that thing that dogs' noses do. It's like just sniffing very intensely at the air, and you get the impression that he's caught the scent of someone or something. And he lets out this very low, not an angry growl, but that growl of, I'm uncomfortable. I smell something or someone I don't recognize. I'd like you to give us a perception check, Gris, to see if you notice something out in the field. 22. That's a good roll. Roughly, probably between 300 and 400 feet. Now imagine it's not very high grass, but high enough to where a small-sized creature, or maybe a halfling, could, if crouching low and moving carefully, could, stay hidden. But what you see is what looks to be a small, kind of looks like a deer, like almost like a miniature deer. And you see these antlers for a moment, and then it bounds. You just kind of catch the top part of its back, then it sinks, then it bounds again, then it sinks back into the grass, and it just does this kind of leaping, like a deer kind of leaping away. But what's interesting about this little miniature deer that you see is that it stops kind of in the middle of the road, jumping out of the grass, and as it turns to you, you notice that the one side of its face, you see like regular deer, black little nose, antler, as it turns, the whole left side of its face and most of its left leg and shoulder looks like it's been melted away via flame or acid or fire or something. And it lets out a kind of and then bounds back to the grass and disappears.
Eeh.
Boris stops growling and starts sniffing at your hand and is very interested in your pinky finger.
No, stop. No. 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 You got one. You got no. Home. Go home. And I think if that's what put Boris on edge, and now he's not on edge, I'm not gonna pursue it. But I'm definitely gonna take this back to Epius.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this is probably like day 7. You're like out in the fields actually, like day 7. This is when you did this. And so you're heading back to town. Let's go over to Lucas. Lucas, what have you been doing over the last week to keep yourself busy in the town of Belhaim? If you're speaking, you're muted.
I'm going to assume that Lucas would be, going to the church, seeing if they need any help with anything. Any
House of
diseases
Abadar?
Yeah.
They're good.
No, there's another one I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, just doing that, going to the between that and the tavern,
Mhm.
and just making sure that our barkeep is okay.
Yeah, she seems fine. She's excited because over this past week there's been a large number of merchants that have started to arrive in the city, and they've been setting up little carts, little displays. It almost seems like there might be a festival or even just like a small little fair coming to town. But as you are at the bar, and the bar is actually pretty busy today, the tavern, the Wise Piper, and you are just hearing that kind of drawl, like that backwards draw. Yeah, words are really fucking hard for me right now. You're hearing that like very low
Background.
roar of the crowd behind you and around you, and you just can pick out different words of conversations all around you, and you hear someone say this stands out to you. You hear someone say, "So do you think they're going to auction off Hung Place Manor like they did the others?" And you don't hear the response. But again, you hear someone say, "Do you think they're going to auction off Hung Clay's Manor like they did the others?"
In my head, I go, well, there's nothing left to get from Hunclay's Manor.
Fair enough. And
I'll
other than
store
that,
that.
though, nothing else of really great importance happens. Just other than these merchants coming to the village, the town getting a little bit more busy. But it's relatively relaxing couple of days. What about Kelgadir? Kelgadir, you wanted to go look for a mithril shirt or mithril breastplate? Mithril
Yeah,
chain?
probably a breastplate. He's been in the front line, and
Yeah.
he's gone from in the mountains and stuff. There's a lot more like, okay, I'm going to ambush somebody due to the terrain. Here it's like, okay, I'm standing toe to toe. The leather is not as great, so he definitely wants to get something, even if it's just a breastplate, so he still has freedom of movement to swing this axe around and everything else.
Roll me a D100. You want to roll less than 30.
Less than 30. Well, that doesn't work.
Ooh. So here's the bad news. They don't
Right.
have a mithril breastplate. What they
Right.
do have is a breastplate. But it is masterwork if you want it.
How much do they want for it?
Normal price. Normal
Normal
price.
price.
Yeah.
Normal price.
Having having one of those myself, can recommend.
Yeah, and I've got the extra movement, so the penalty doesn't really hurt me. That yeah, no price. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
like it. And you
I
actually
can
get
always.
that from the Bacchus Smithy. He actually has one made that a noble actually never picked up. And as fate would have it, it takes a little bit of resizing, like a little bit of like kind of mess with the leather straps inside. Maybe it's like it's a snug fit, very snug, but it will definitely work, and it's going to give you that full AC bonus as
A
well.
little bit tight around the crotch.
A little bit tight
Little-
around. It's chafes my nipples.
I'd
but
be
that's
worried
okay.
about. I'd be worried more. He's probably tighter around like the pecs. Like that's probably
Yeah.
more. If it's made for a noble, let's be real.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, I'll take it. Also, he probably approaches Epius at some point because he's had dreams, and his dreams are normal. Like normally when he has dreams, they're usually about either women or fighting or both. And he's had dreams where in these fights, obviously he rages like he would, but he's woken up finding out that he's actually in this rage state, and he's had things like he looks at his arms and they seem like where there would be one. It's almost like if you had double vision, but there are like multiple. So there's like 3 or 4, maybe 5, and he's very confused about it, and he feels just when he feels like getting angry, he feels like some sort of like almost like if he had to sneeze, that like feeling of right before you do it, but it's like all over, and it's like this what he thinks is maybe some type of magical energy from he doesn't know if it's from the stuff they've been exposed to
So
or if
cut
it's
to a scene
whatever.
of Calgadir doing his best to explain how he's feeling, just like Atomic was. Behind Epius is the flesh golem made of cobalt bits, and you see the flesh golem as Epius is taking all this information, and Calgadir's like, it's kind of this, it's kind of that, and the flesh golem just goes.
Quiet down. It sounds to me like you're manifesting what those sorcerers would, not a trained arcanist, but a wild blood.
There have been shaman in my family in the past, but they were, let's say, a calmer folk, not not like me. Let's put it that way. So, if I have any understanding of any of this, maybe it's in the blood, perhaps.
That is my hypothesis, but
mm.
I haven't seen it manifest yet.
I haven't seen it manifest either, but I feel odd when I start to, when the adrenaline kicks in, and I feel more than my usual self, and it's interesting. It's not a bad feeling. It's just different.
At the mention
And
of feeling more like yourself, you actually feel some bony fingers like kind of pawing at your knee, and you look down to see the kobold skeleton minus a head kind of just like pawing at your leg, not aggressively, just like it's confused or curious.
He just kind of like scoots it away like you would like a dog. Like, all right, dumb boy. Like just
it
we're
wanders
trying to
into the
okay.
wall and then keeps walking into it over and over.
Yeah,
He just goes and finds its head as he continues speaking with Calgadir about
yeah. I mean,
about how it's probably in your blood. I've heard that can cause some negative manifestations if the arcane blood's too powerful. Be careful about how you feel in town. Fire is uncontrollable.
yes. Well, I've only seemed to feel that way whenever I'm like when I was practicing with the axe, or that fighting dream I often have with the women at the end that I really really like. But I thought I would ask you, since you're not a shaman, but you're what is it, a wizard, the magic type person. So Calgadir's had experience only with like shaman and then like the occasional sorcerer. Everyone else in the tribe is like barbarians or whatever. So like he just sees everyone as a wizard or a shaman. Those are the only, like, they fall into one of two camps. Like he sees Lucas as a shaman. That's what he does the priest thing. He doesn't no, shaman. That's what he is. So that's what he calls him. But
like
he's like,
it.
oh, wizards are into the weird shit. So maybe he had an idea.
I like it. Roll me a D100 Blau. I want to see if you can find the kobold's head. So here's the good news. You find it, but you only find half of it. It's missing the lower jaw.
Good thing he didn't fight before.
Yeah. And then the kobold skeleton like reaches out to give you a hug awkwardly, and then I imagine you push it away.
Stop doing that.
It looks sad. All right. Droops its head down and goes back to its post. All right. So apparently kobold skeletons are funny. And so last and certainly not least, Rikus. It's been a week. What have you been up to over this past week?
2 things I want to do if I can. Well, more than 2 things, but I'd like to commission a masterwork heavy wooden shield and a
Done.
masterwork longsword from Bacchus Smithy.
Ooh, the Masterwork Longsword. Roll me
Yeah.
a D100. You want to roll under 40. 40 and under.
Ah,
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, he just doesn't have the material to make a Masterwork Longsword. He could just make a longsword for you,
I've already got one.
but he's sorry.
Well,
Isn't there
no,
another
that's-
smithy in town?
There is
Chance?
another smithy in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There is.
I want to.
You
That's
don't
what I'm
want
doing.
to go
I'm
to that smithy. They are far overpriced and only cater to nobles.
Well, as it happens, I've come into some money recently.
Ah.
I'd rather spend it here, but pity. And yeah, he'll still commission the shield from here. No, he's not going to haggle. He doesn't. Rikus doesn't haggle. So he's just he'll commission the shield from Bacchus and head over to gosh, I can't remember what the other one's called.
Chance.
Chance.
Yeah, travel
Chance
over
Smiley.
to travel over to Chance. Chance is a blue-haired dwarf with no beard. And as you walk in, he's actually having a conversation with one of the ranchers. It's Master Abaderos, who is a human noble, like late 30s, still looks like he's in his 20s. And he's just making some foppish joke. And he goes, "Oh yes," and then I told the halfling, "Well, perhaps if you were taller." Oh yes. And Chance is like, "Oh, good sir, you just tear me up. Well, I will have those leather braces done for you here in a fortnight." He's like, "Oh yes, of course you will, Chance. Always a pleasure. Keep up the good work." And then he scurries off back to his, I don't know, manor to do other noble things. But you see Chance kind of shake his head as the noble leaves, and just give me a sense motive check. I want to see if you pick up on this.
Probably not. All signs point to no. but
All
we'll see.
signs point to probably maybe.
8-ball says.
You know what?
16.
That's a 16. That's not terrible at all. And you know what? You get the impression that he's just playing along. Like, he's not really into the whole noble thing, but, he's got a product and he sells to his clientele. He sells to it. And as you approach Rikus, he's actually working, it's a smithy, but he's actually working with some leather. And he's kind of like, bending and molding it into place. And, he doesn't notice you as you approach.
And I think maybe, I don't know. It's Rikus has seen some things now, so maybe he's just not quite as polite. And he'll just let his heavy gloved hand fall on the counter with a thump. I imagine there's a bell like right next to him, but he doesn't ring it. He just smacks the the top of the table.
He looks up at you. "May I help you?"
And I think like Rikus has like a bag of gold or like a bag of coin, and he just shakes it. You hear that sort of satisfying clink of like a not insubstantial amount of money.
"What can I
And
make for you then, good sir?"
I want the finest longsword you've ever made.
His eyes narrow, and he takes just this piece of leather that he's working with. He was drilling holes into it to add some leather, some ties to it, as it were. And he sets it down, slides it away, and he places both of his hands on the table, and He just kind of motions at the bag of gold in your hand and then motions down to the table.
Yeah, he'll just throw it down on the table and just hits with that hard metallic
Ka-chink.
clank.
And he kind of rubs his stubbled beard like this. And then just ever so slightly just like pulls the drawstring. And you see it just kind of fall open a little bit. And there's just that kind of like that falling coins noise. You ever like stacked coins, you kind of feel just the very, very quiet kind of chinking, and he goes, well, I can make you a very fine longsword. Very fine longsword. But it depends on how fine you want it. Do you wish it to cut simply by the nature and the manufacturing of the blade itself? Or do you want that extra... And he smirks, and you see just a tiny little spark in his left hand, almost like he had like a flash paper or something. But you'd recognize it as looking kind of like magic. Would you like more of that spark when it comes to striking?
I've recently found myself in a very dangerous line of work, but a line of work that pays very, very well. And if it's all the same, I'd like the chance to return more often with more money to spend on more things that I need.
How much gold is in your coin purse?
This one it's probably only about 300, just because I was just looking for a masterwork sword, but I've got more. I've got quite a bit more.
He will turn around and say, hold that thought, my good man. Hold that thought. Turns around, and you see that there's actually a stack of a bunch of different look like sword cases, different like armored cases. Some of them are probably just like displays. There's like little racks and stuff with like different blades and axes, and even some like maces and a couple flails and just like all these different weapons. Kind of looks like a weapons store. Like he makes a lot of weapons, and there's also some armor and other things. But he goes down into a sliding kind of cabinet. He opens it, and there's a single long box in it, very ornate designed. A lot of these like kind of leaf and gold inlay motifs, and he takes it out, and it's long enough to where it would be a longsword. And he sets it on the counter with the latch facing you, and then he very slowly and very methodically reaches over, undoes the latch, and opens it up. And in Dwarven, he says, ignite. And you watch as the blade in front of you bursts into radiant golden white light, filling the slightly dim room as though it was in the presence of, well, of a light spell almost, or a torch, but like a very strong, constantly burning torch. You see that the blade itself is made of this dark gray metal. It's darker than steel. And as you look down at it, you realize, dark black metal. You realize that this is a +1 adamantium longsword.
And yeah, right, let's just look up at him. How much?
And he gives you
I can't
a
afford an adamantium
smile.
weapon.
He gives you a smile. He gives you a smile. And he says, for you, I would give a discount for a mighty adventurer such as yourself. A paltry 5,000 gold.
I know I said Rikus didn't haggle, but I've only got. Let's
You
see.
have homies.
I was about to say, like, if you, I'm trying to get this armor, but I mean, if you're like, oh, it's a flaming sword and it's adamantine, you're like,
And so okay, so let's say 5,000. I've given him 300, He's gonna keep that 300 because I'm getting this sword.
Oh, okay.
And Rikus will produce. I think like because we got like there's a bank in town, right?
Yeah, there's the House of
There's a door-
Abadar. That's a
there's
bank.
Yeah, right. The
door
House of
moving.
Abadar. Yeah. So
You notice how the
Base-
House of Abadar is next to Chance Smithy?
Yeah.
You think that's by mistake? Absolutely not.
no, it's clearly not.
They built a
Um,
connected walkway and everything. It's got an overhang. It's
Yeah.
I like to
And,
see my money come to me.
And I think he'll slide the purse of gold across to him and say, "Give me a few moments." And he'll turn and walk out, go to the House of Abadar, and get basically a letter of how much money that he's got in the bank.
Letter of
which,
credit.
Yeah, a full faith letter of credit for we'll do 4,300, which is almost all that I've got, which would leave 400 gold pieces. If I could go into Dutch with one of you fine gentlemen,
I got you.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'd be willing to chip in.
that is why I love you.
I could just flat give.
Perfect.
That's
So-
it's a nice longsword.
It's
Yeah,
a very,
seems-
very,
it's a
very nice
very
longsword.
nice. Yeah.
No,
this is-
you got your stuff
So-
going on.
So I did get this scroll of knock, but now we just kind of poke it through the styrofoam steel keyholes and say, "Oh, there's our key."
right. Crack. Sweet. Well, Gris.
Yeah,
Gris
they
is my boy.
bypass hardness.
It's
Yeah.
like that scene in
Up to
episode
steel,
1.
yeah.
Episode 1, when they take the lightsabers, are trying to cut the door open. That's what we're going to be doing from now on. Just
Yeah,
with,
pretty much.
with that sword.
Ignite. Yeah, absolutely. So
Master
with
destroy.
that, the 300 I've given him, the 400 from Gris, and the 4,300 in the letter of credit that I've got, I will go back to the.
Gris dug it out of
Chances.
a hole. There's a
Yeah.
hole behind the tavern.
What do you? Why
I
is
just-
there a hole? You don't put your. Oh, you don't have your money in a mattress or a pillowcase, do you?
No.
Okay.
You
You've at
keep
least got it. You've at least got it buried in a couple of different places.
Look, no, you keep
Yeah.
your gold coin in a pillowcase because then you can swing it around and hit people with it.
A dwarf's gonna walk by and smell that someday and dig it up.
It's true, but go back.
I've fought 7 dwarves since we've been here.
Coincidence? I think about-
The activation word on this adamantine longsword is
Uh-huh.
karad, which translates to ignite,
Ignite?
in Dwarvish.
Karad.
Karad. You gotta roll the R. Karad. I like it.
All right.
I like it.
Yeah, so a +1 adamantine longsword.
It's pretty good, my man. It's a good
And
price, too.
That is a hell of a good price. That's a goddamn steal. You know what? He's been sitting on this for a long time. Nobody's even come close to being able to afford it, so he's just willing to part with it at this point.
Probably.
But
He
I'm
got
not
it.
gonna
He got it
quibble.
at a discount.
He's got
He got
40
it off
of
a
them in
dead guy.
box.
Yeah.
I
He's
know.
got
Anyway, yeah.
40 of them down below.
Yeah.
It's just-
You leave. He comes back
Just
upstairs,
comes
puts
back with
another box in
an
there.
identical box. It's like-
Look, like 30 fell off the back of a truck. He just
Yeah.
happened upon them. and-
That's hilarious,
yeah,
actually.
that's
I
good.
love
You
it.
of
So
course
that-
got the matching belt and scabbard. with it, didn't you?
Absolutely. I love it.
I mean, that better come with it.
But with the purchases done, with the
Yeah.
discussions of new magical powers, with the headless kobolds finding their heads once again, we return to the Wise Piper, where we often spend our time, to a Gris returning with his wolf companion. The wolf companion is chasing a small rat that was running around the side, and it runs off around the corner to chase it. A few moments later, you hear a squeak and some very angry growling. It probably caught that rat. And Gris, you walk inside to see the rest of your friends. I would imagine admiring Rikus's very nice new adamantine longsword. And Rikus, why don't we pick up halfway through the conversation about this nice longsword that you just got?
And
Doesn't
I'm not an expert. I'm not an appraiser. I grew up on a farm, but I'm pretty sure this was too cheap. I don't
So-
doubt that it is what it is, but
I imagine
It may be
Calgadir.
stolen.
Yeah. I imagine Calgadir has it in his hands at this point. You know, he's looking at
Yeah.
it, and he's a smith. He's a smith. Like that, technically by trade. Before he started doing adventuring shit, he was a smith. So, like, I mean, he's not an amazing one, but he can tell. Just like I don't have to be a helicopter pilot to see one in a tree and know someone fucked up. So it's like he can appreciate the work here and just like the amount of hours. Like I assume the person he trained with was this good, and you know, he's just like, yes, you almost you didn't steal this, right? You actually paid.
No,
gold.
but I think that I don't know how the smith came by it, but I feel like it may have been.
It's better not to
stolen
ask
or-
questions.
Does
It's
anybody have craft?
I do. I have smithing. Smith
Give
is
me,
a
give me
profession.
a smithing check.
Profession smithing. Let's
There
go.
it is.
He's not an amazing one, but
What a
he's
twist, what a twist.
What's the twist? He's all right. Yeah, he's.
I
you
can
know.
appraise if that doesn't work out.
He does himself. He
Well,
does- he
Epius,
does-
actually, give me a spellcraft check on this longsword.
I could give you a
No.
spellcraft as well if you want one.
I would.
It ain't good, but
So
Okay.
Epius, there is something more to this adamantine longsword. There is something more. As you are analyzing the intricate runes, the etchings, the markings on this longsword, you find that in the hilt, which is wrapped in a very thick and very, very hard black leather around the handle itself. It's got a very nice pommel, the blackened blade of the adamantine. But you notice that, like, slightly scratched into the black markings on this adamantine longsword is a name. And it takes you a moment to look at the name and really like kind of analyze it and maybe spell it out. But the name is Maffei. 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 And give me a knowledge to planes check.
While this is happening, Grist just steals
So that name
Rex's drink.
sounds like
Anyway,
it's from the Plane of Shadow. Sounds like a Plane of Shadow name.
Sword has an interesting history, I would think.
no.
This name makes me think of this Plane of Shadow and why he was getting rid of it for as cheap as you say he was. Is a
Oh
little bit
no, it is.
off-putting.
Is it cursed?
You didn't whisper that at all. Everyone.
I don't think it's cursed, but I think it
It's
may
all
not have
right,
been
everybody.
forged on
My
this
sword's
plane.
my sword's. It's not cursed.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't cursed. I don't think it was.
We don't think it's cursed.
There we go. I'm not going to side alone with the guy who owns that sword, but no.
It looks good. I like it.
It's genuine. It doesn't look like it's alloyed adamantine. It looks like it's the pure stuff. And
We'll find out soon enough if it was worth it. I think.
And a commander who always talks about getting himself a blade like that.
Oh.
Hope it's worth it.
Well, if it wasn't, on the plus side, I won't live long enough to pay you back.
Fair enough.
And at the mention of live long enough to pay you back, the Mayor Origania. I remember I had trouble with her name last time too. Mayor Origania steps into the bar, and a couple of folks raise their mugs. And is like, long live the mayor, hip hip hurrah, and whatnot. But she steps in, looks around the room, sees you all sitting at your center table as you often do, and walks over. Happy Solar Day. I hope that today finds you well. Are you enjoying your stay in town still?
sounds pleasant, all the more so for the lack of kobolds.
It's a quaint little place. I'm enjoying good ale, good food. Can't complain. I believe it was.
She smiles, acknowledging the compliment, as it were, but she looks again around at the table. I hope I am not pressing upon you more than I should, but there is another matter of which I believe you could all be very helpful in solving for me. Would you be interested in more work?
Looks at the others, then nods for himself.
Yes, very much
Nothing
so.
better to do. I'm in.
We're all getting a taste for the money.
Yeah.
Of course, you are familiar with Hunclay's Manor, the wizard that was the cause of the tower falling, the kobolds rising up, as it were. The reason I bring this up is that I'm sure you've noticed the influx of merchants and salespeople and, well, other nobles. I am intending to auction off the contents of Hunclay's Manor, but being the eccentric and paranoid wizard that he was, I have not sent anyone into the manor to actually catalogue its contents, for fear that there may be traps or other denizen inside. If you are interested in assisting me, I would be willing to pay you 20% of all of the auction proceeds once we auction off his entire collection.
It's a
Talking to
wizard's
me.
mana.
Give me
Traps.
the praise check, Epius. The reason I'm gonna have you do this is because you went inside of the first floor of the manor, and I want to see if you can get just a basic idea of how much gold 20% would be of this guy's place. Minus the books, which was a lot, you guys are probably looking at total 20 grand.
Ooh.
Now split
Considering
5
I've already
ways.
been through it.
Split 5 ways.
Yeah.
You know, that's 5 grand a piece, but that's not bad.
For a place we've already been into and know most of the.
We've been into about half of it.
Yeah, and
Oh.
all you've got to do is explore the
I thought-
upstairs fully and the basement. Uh-oh.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yes, done.
Mm.
Done. It'll be nice to finally get a look inside that place.
Yes, I've had our local town guards guarding it from any of the children or teenagers that may wish to test their bravery inside. But very good. If you have nothing else pressing today, the sooner you can complete it. I'm hoping to have the auction here within a week's time.
Excellent.
Very
We'll
good.
head up the road later today, I imagine.
I got nothing planned.
She will smile. She will walk over to the innkeeper, Talia. They'll exchange a few quiet words at the bar. They'll both smile at each other, and then she'll head back out into the street and likely back towards Devi Manor. But you guys have the rest of it. It's like mid morning, maybe around 11 o'clock in the morning. And what would you guys like to do?
So do you? And Rikus, before he talks, will look around just to see how crowded is the bar.
The tavern itself, usually as I've described, it's been pretty sparse, 1 or 2 people.
But now
It's like a full restaurant. There are, pretty much every table is full, but it's loud and there's a lot of ruckus, going on, and it's busy right now. Yeah.
when did we want to get started?
I've got nothing planned.
At this point,
Nothing
I
to
don't
begin
care
today.
what we do. I just kind of want to get out of here. There's far too many people for my liking.
Yeah, sitting around for a week doing fuck all. It's not really, it's been a while since I've killed something. I feel real fidgety.
Oh, Epius, when we get a sec, just nothing pressing. I need a word.
And,
All right, on the way to the man, or actually on the way to Hard Glow, we can retrieve the golem and evidence. He can clear the traps for us. Anything we haven't.
You still have him?
Oh yes.
It's still in one piece.
Did he find his head? I hit his head. Did we find it?
Yes, we found his head.
Ah.
After you hid the head, I found the head and I hid the jaw.
Didn't find that.
What he doesn't know is Calculator had the jaw incorporated into his raptor helmet, so now he's got the jaw on the bottom.
I like it. It's double
Helps
hinged.
keep it steady.
Structure.
Every time he moves his head, it just like flaps around a little bit.
Flops down a little bit like that.
Well,
Like
its
that.
first jaw was kind of messed up when it got smashed by everyone else. But yeah, on the way over to Hard Glow, the Epius and Risk can talk about the whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I bring up the burnt deer that was still, or the melted deer that was still alive, and how Boris reacted. He wasn't in a predatory state. He was in a defensive.
Without
Is it-
seeing the animal, but Gris, I want you, Gris, to roll us a. You know what I'm gonna have you do? I'm gonna have you roll a diplomacy check, and the diplomacy check is going to set the DC, and I'm going to kind of do it the opposite. So the lower you roll, the higher the DC. The higher you roll, the lower the DC. It's going to set the DC that Epius is going to need to know whether or not that deer should have been alive with his knowledge nature check.
Okay, you said a
Just
diplomacy
roll it.
check,
Roll a
right?
roll a diplomacy check. That's all I need you to do.
1d20 plus charisma.
All right.
Oh,
All right. So unfortunately, the way that I set this in my mind was that the DC was going to be a 20 plus the difference between what he rolls in the die and 20. So that's 14. So it's a 34 DC. So Gris, you're like,
Oh,
so
man.
it was like burned, but it wasn't like really burned, but it was kind of like alive. Like it's not a great description because you only got a glimpse of it. So it's not that Gris is bad at
Yeah.
describing things. You had a
Yeah.
2-second glimpse of it. Epius, you're not sure. It could have just been like caught in a fire. Maybe it was undead. We don't know.
was it just a normal deer? Like, can I tell that?
It was tiny.
Or is it?
It's a tiny deer.
Okay, so
It was probably a
Is-
young
is-
deer.
Like,
okay, it's like a fawn.
Oh, a deer, a female deer.
A female deer.
I don't know what to tell you, my friend.
I no, it's just it was odd how Boris reacted. And it
Might
didn't
wanna
put
take a
me
walk.
on edge, but it was unsettling.
Maybe we should take another walk in the woods, see if we find anything else suffering from similar. Because I haven't seen any smoke on the horizon or anything.
I haven't smelled any smoke on the wind either, especially being out in the woods as long as I was.
Just Zeb and Blau, are you guys talking about this like between yourselves, or are we able to hear this?
If everyone wanted to come down to Hardglow Farm, I mean,
Yeah,
my
we were
idea was
going
we were
in-
walking down to
Yeah,
Hardglow,
I
and
mean,
walking
I'm-
back up to the inn to go to the Hunkley. So if you came with
Yeah.
us, yeah, absolutely.
Imagine we're a group.
Yeah, because I think at this point, Rikus would probably turn to Lucas and just ask, Lucas, do you think that could be some kind of dark magic or necromancy? Wouldn't
When
be
it comes to
uncharacteristic
necromancy, I
for-
just turn and look at Epius with this kind of hedging look. There's definitely something wrong, but I would not know. I'm a city dweller. The ways of the country confuse me.
Doesn't sound like anything I've ever seen. On the
That's what
mountains,
I'm saying.
anyway.
Although I've seen a deer with half of a flank torn off by a bear or a wolf or something still limping around.
That's just adrenaline and fight or flight, whatever.
Eventually,
but this,
eventually they fall over.
oh yes, sounds like something
This one
completely.
did not seem that upset by its current condition.
Like old
Yeah.
wounds.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
I
Well.
think we've all collectively heard enough fuckery from our respective homelands that I'm sure there's magic involved, right?
I would think so, especially with what's been going on lately. Though we
With the-
killed what I assume is the necromancer. There might be more.
Or something else.
And as you say, or something else, you all arrive, after picking up the golem, you all arrive at the entrance to Hunclay's Manor. And I must
Epius
add,
remembered the ladder this time, by the way.
Yeah. We've got Boris. We also have Scraps. Scraps is enormous. And yeah, so you've explored the majority of the first floor. And if you recall, there was a sitting room off to the left-hand side of the compound, or the manor. There was this kind of living room area. There were the birds. The birds, because nobody came back and fed them, the birds are all dead, which is a real
What-
shame.
What happened to Hunclay's butt boy?
He left. His
Yeah.
room that he was barricaded in is empty.
Hmm.
Empty.
Okay, I didn't.
There's a storage room off to the side here.
Did we have 3 of those charms? We had the one off the bird. I think we had one from upstairs and one from
Yeah.
You
Butler.
had 3,
Yeah,
correct.
with three.
Yep, that is correct.
Epius fixes one to himself because he's not very dexterous and doesn't want to fall through this pit.
Well, yeah, then I'll take one of those too if you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
he lays the ladder down across the carpet.
Oh, you know what? That's
I mean, we could have,
Good
if
idea.
knowing it's there. I mean, could we have just brought some fucking wood planks or something? to
Honestly,
help
knowing
with
it's
the
there,
ladder's
you can
for.
skirt the edge of it. I'm not going to force you to,
Okay.
to mess around with it. You know it's
Okay,
there
cool.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus
Alright.
the bracelets. So, we've not. There was that thing upstairs that I threw the axe at and
Yep.
like embedded in its head the alarm thing.
The bear.
The
Bear
bear
one.
head.
Yeah.
Which we should probably remove. But yeah, I mean,
Let's go upstairs and get ready to throw a sheet over that bear. I imagine it's a sight-based thing since it didn't activate until we got into the room.
Like
Maybe.
it. As you start your way up the spiral staircase, you remember this was a copper spiral staircase with rails, very similar to the one you described during your trip, Blau. Very,
Oh,
very narrow
no.
steps, so you're having trouble getting up, but no one's going to fall. But you make your way up the spiral staircase, you get to the top, and you know how the charms kind of had this sensation or this feeling? The charms don't seem like they're reacting to the room. In fact, Epius, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Something feels off. Something feels different as you get to the top. Maybe you're walking in with a lot of confidence. Something feels off at the top of the stairs. And I'm actually going to position you over at the top of the stairs. And if everyone else wants to just kind of position themselves inside the room, Epius, you've gotten up to the library once again. I need you to give us a perception check if you would be so kind.
I forgot my perception button. No.
Okay. Okay.
Do I have that bad feeling?
Yeah, you do have
Or
that
no,
bad
with
feeling.
Then he would back down the stairs a little bit and say,
Mhm.
And he would give his charm to Evidence
Mhm.
and say, go upstairs, go up there.
Okay. Evidence, the kobold missing its lower jaw, goes upstairs, walks into the room, and a few moments later, you simply hear the clattering of bones.
Is he okay?
that doesn't sound good.
No. He'll poke his head upstairs and detect magic and see if whatever
is
disincorporated him is still active.
this some type of
Excellent.
dispel?
So
maybe?
you see a pile of bones on the ground, just kind of sitting there. And when you detect magic, perched on top of this statue up here, which looks to be kind of like a giant raven's head bust, is what you see, which was the symbol of Hunclay. Hunclay's like family crest. You see a tiny little, kind of looks like a little demon baby, and it's definitely invisible, but you're picking up the illusion magic for it, and it's
Okay.
crouched there, and it's got its fingers out like this, like it's ready to cast a spell.
I have see invisibility.
Knowledge
on my list.
knowledge arcana actually on this thing.
Oh,
this
yes.
this is
Jesus.
a unique homunculus. It's a neutral evil small construct.
I don't have see invisibility on my list.
Well, I don't see it. We don't see it.
There's something magic up there. I think it's a creature. Other than that, I can't really tell.
Just at the bottom of the stairs.
It starts to
Is
kind of
Evidence okay?
scurry along the wall, like it's walking like it has spider climb, and gets to about there.
Oh, okay. What do we do?
I can tell you where it is. He's gonna start concentrating on detect magic and trying to get a square location on it so we can direct the party to it.
And I think.
Does anyone have invisibility purge? Anything?
No, did not
Nope.
prepare that.
But
We
I
fall
do
back
have
and do this tomorrow then when we have it?
well, perhaps. I mean, do you think that would be best?
I don't know what this thing can do. It evaporated my skeleton real quick. Do you want to take the chance that it'll do that to you?
Gets to the ladder on that side of the room. There's a little trapdoor at the top. Starts to walk up towards the trapdoor.
Tell me,
Moment,
where is it now?
at the trapdoor ladder.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot with crossbow.
I'm going to rapid shot.
So
Beautiful. So I need everyone to position themselves where they would be in the room, because positioning, hashtag no spoilers, is going to be slightly important here.
I'm here.
Appius is sitting in the corner trying to get as much room in the cone as he can.
I'm here.
Okay.
I feel like as soon as I heard trapdoor, I'd already got an arrow out.
I like it.
ready. So I'm probably right behind.
I like it.
It'll be tough to hit this thing.
I like it.
Very.
I like it.
I'll have blind fight, right?
So,
Yeah.
as you guys position yourselves,
For this level, I was gonna be like, I get blind fight. Nah, when's that
Lucas,
ever
give
gonna
us
come
a
up?
ranged attack, please.
All right. Yeah, missed.
Okay, the bolt strikes the wall, embedding itself just like into the trap door, this hatch at the top. Epius, you see the creature spin its head like 180, then rotate its body, scurry along the wall, and then from its little pouch on its hip, you see it pull out a wand, wiggle it, and then a crackle of electricity comes
Oh,
flying
shit.
towards Lucas and Gris, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh shit!
Oh boy.
Does it become visible when it does that, by the way?
It absolutely does.
Oh,
Okay.
Good.
Oh, not greater invisibility.
No. That would be mean. I'm a cruel, cruel, cruel man, but I'm not
Yes,
that
you are.
cruel.
Cruelty.
And
Evidence did his job.
and as
Making
it
us pee on
as it-
ourselves is
as it casts this spell, you hear this small, squeaky voice. You are not the masters! Out of the house! Out of the house! Die!
I don't think this will work, but Rex is gonna be like, your master's dead.
Please! That's slander! And I need Rikus? Not Rikus. I need Lucas and Gris to roll reflex saves, please.
Nice.
Ooh, Gris.
Oh,
Gris, I'm so sorry.
the history
jump
of
out of the
amazing
way.
So
saves.
sorry.
Lucas jumps out of the way and you get wet.
Also, Lucas, are you wearing metal armor?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good news
Uh-oh.
is you still make the DC, but you're taking half of this damage. Half of this damage. So, are you guys ready? 20 electricity damage as he uses a wand of lightning bolt and hits you with it. You take 20 damage, and Lucas, you take 10. Gris, you are electrified, dare I say. Electrified. And now,
This is a bad idea.
now, we are going to drop into initiative. And unfortunately, it looks like a certain Lodo is going to go first.
Oh no.
And he is going to go ahead and use his second charge of Lightning Bolt. And I need both of you to give us reflex saves again, please.
God damn it! Oh,
All right,
Hey!
Zeb, you have evasion.
I don't.
All right, you're only taking half. Lucas, you're taking full.
Can I do a hero point?
You absolutely can.
All right, I'm re-rolling that.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
All right. The good news is you're taking half. You're taking half. So that's a good thing. So you're both taking half of 24. You both take 12 points of electricity damage.
Oh my
And this
God.
thing flies up into the center of the room and is about 20 feet in the air.
God damn.
And it screams, "Out! Out of the Master's Mansion! Out!" And Gris, you're up next.
Oh my God!
For his action, he howls in pain.
Yeah, I think that definitely happens. Is me screaming. I want to get like over here. I want to just get the fuck out of here. I am so.
How's your bones?
My bones were visible for a long time there when they shouldn't have been.
Good news is, he's only got a couple more charges.
And oh god,
Kill him. He's using our loot.
from where I am,
Get it?
would me whistling could Boris hear me?
Yes, he could.
All right, that fucking Boris. I whistle for Boris. His ass needs to get up there right now.
And go ahead and move him. He is yours to move.
So just because you got shot by lightning twice, you're gonna get this poor wolf killed.
Absolutely.
He gets into a guarded position next to you.
Absolutely.
Appius.
And
Oh no, go ahead, Chris.
and I would like to.
Cry.
No, I'm gonna.
Cry
Yeah,
a lot.
I'm gonna cry.
Cry
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
cry.
I like
I'm
it.
gonna cry. I'm gonna hug Boris and cry.
Yeah, Boris sniffs you and starts to salivate because you kind of smell like you've been cooked. All right,
Gonna bite your finger.
Appius, you're up next.
Appius is going to move to the center of the room and say, "Come here, Lucas," and he prepares to cast protection from energy or resist energy on Lucas if he gets within range, because I don't want our cleric dying.
That would be bad.
That's a good, yeah.
That would be bad.
I don't want the cleric dying either.
That would be bad.
That
Be
would be
very-
bad.
Very bad. It'd be very, very bad. All right, and beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, next up is Calcadir.
It is resist energy, by the way, not protection from energy. The DR one.
Calgary is muted.
Calcadir is muted because he's stupid. He said this thing was how high up?
20 feet in the air.
20
How high-
feet.
How high up are the bookshelves, you might ask? Roughly 15.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was enlarged person makes you what? Twice your size, twice your height? Which should be 12 feet plus 5 foot of reach. You know, with a
Knock
Great,
over a
great.
bookshelf and stand on it.
yeah, right.
If you want to get big and swing at it in the ceiling, I'm not going to stop you because that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to math. I mean, it's a great axe. I think it should have reach.
For this purposes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, because from Warhammer, I hate cherub-looking things with a passion. Because it's the creepy babies that I don't like.
Yeah, it's a creepy baby monster.
So I'm gonna hit. Yeah. So I will.
With like 2 sets of leathery bat wings. It's real
If
messed up.
if
Yeah,
if
it's
this is
worse.
a homunculus, where did Hunkley get the baby?
Yeah, that's okay. Those are questions I don't think we want the answer to.
Yeah, see, these are the things. Hunkley was not a good person.
Yeah.
Appius thought he was.
I'm glad he's dead.
But,
Alright.
but you know, it's rapidly reconciling.
He was a great wizard, just a really bad person.
Yeah. So all right. So order operations. We're gonna rage because that's what we do. And when he does so, Calcadir, there seems to be like seems like they're. You look at him and it's like there seems to be multiple. Not like the mirror image. Just you look at him and he's just kind of shimmering in a way,
I like it.
like double vision. And then he will cast enlarged person upon himself.
I'd like to imagine that it's not really him being like, I cast a large person. It's just he thinks, man, I wish I could be bigger. And then he's bigger. If you're close- Yeah, you just get bigger. So suddenly, Calcadir is doubled in size and taking up a huge amount of space and knocks over a bookshelf that sends it sprawling into the next bookshelf and in the next bookshelf. Now there's bookshelves falling over. And the homunculus is screeching at, Big dumb idiot! Big dumb idiot! Not the master's books!
Oh, also, I'm gonna add Boris to the initiative.
I like it. Rikus, you're up next.
All right, so I take it then that Calgadir has knocked over all these bookshelves.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Are these still standing?
Yes, they are.
All right. I can't get to him even if I get up on these.
I grab Rikus and I lift him up so that he can hit it with his flaming sword.
Up.
It's like that meme where it's like, you know, the one guy's grabbing the thing, the other guy's holding them up.
Shit. You know what? I'm gonna, as much as I can, I'm gonna try to get some cover behind this bookshelf, and I will get my short bow out and spin around the corner and just try to hit this thing.
Yeah,
with it.
go
It's
for
probably not gonna go great, but we're
You
gonna
never know.
find out.
Crazy things have happened.
Nope.
Swing and a miss. It goes wide. It actually goes in between like this two sets of leathery wings.
Yeah.
And he turns around and says, "I'll get you next."
Good. Okay. At least if he's looking at me to get me next, then he's not gonna attack Lucas again, and we could get things squared away.
Lucas, you're a person that exists.
I'm going right there, and my
Smell burnt ozone.
hit point thing is not showing correct hit points. so-
What? That's not 32?
No, I have 10.
Yeah, you have
So
10.
it shows
10.
10
It
for
says
me.
10. It says 1032.
Oh, for me it
Yeah.
says 32.
You might need to
Out of
refresh.
32.
Let's refresh
Yeah.
roll 20.
Either way, you
no,
now have
I'm
resist
gonna go
energy,
ahead.
electricity 10.
All right, resist electricity 10, and I'm going to grab my holy symbol, call upon Milani's power to channel energy for Gris and I. 7 points.
Are kick in the teeth?
And that is my turn.
All right.
Stow the crossbow.
Next up is Boris. Boris.
Boris is going to take a 5-foot step here. So he is out of my way.
Lodo
Eh.
is going to get a little bit bigger so that everyone can actually see him, but he is small size. And he is actually going to point his wand at Rikus, then look to the room where Gris and Boris are. And then he is going to reach. He's going to reach into his chest. And from his chest, he's going to produce a small whistle. Not like a coach's whistle, but like a little like dog whistle. And he's going to blow into it. Boris starts whining like he's in pain. But what's disturbing is you remember that bear bust in that room? You hear a low, deep growling, and from behind you, Gris, you see a massive, very angry looking fiendish dire bear appear.
With an
fun,
axe
buddy.
in its forehead.
Yeah.
It still has the axe in its forehead.
And it looks really mad. Really, really mad.
You got 13 hit points. Tank it.
Calgadoo! Calgadoo!
And yeah, that's
Well,
gonna
neither
be
will.
that turn, and we're gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna roll it into the initiative. And let me do this. This will probably be fun. Wow!
Oh.
Wow!
Oh no.
Wow.
Oh no.
Wow!
Awesome.
That's not great.
No,
Before
no, no.
Gris gets a chance
So
to go.
it immediately goes, and it is going to charge to here. It's going to charge the bar, kind of smashing over the bar, and is going to take a bite at you. Now the good news is, all right, you're currently getting some light cover because you're behind the bar area. All right, so you're getting a +2 to AC. You'll probably be fine.
No.
It's going to try to bite you. There we go. Does an 18 hit you?
Yeah.
Does that include the +2 you're getting from light cover? Because you have a 17
No.
+2. All right, so the bear rushes forward, smashing into this bar. It lunges over the side, snapping at you. You duck, and you can feel the hot breath of this thing. You get some slobber on you. It's sticky. It smells like decayed meat. And it snaps. And it misses you like this much. This much. You saw your life. You saw your bones flash before your eyes. But you are still
Again.
up. You are still up. And next up is you. It is your turn.
Oh.
Run
Christ.
away, withdraw.
You should just saunter away casually and be like, nah.
I'm going to provoke attack of opportunity.
Take the attack. Take the attack of opportunity. Like, yeah.
Or disengage like an intelligent person.
Yeah.
Name your daughter a boy's name to let her know you wanted a son. Be a man.
Yeah. I'm going to disengage.
Ouch.
Fuck the bear.
You're gonna do full withdrawal. So it's a full
Yeah.
round action. It's all you can do, but you do not provoke at the first 5 feet of movement, so you can move away from the bear, not provoke, and just book it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I'm
right.
going to run past Caligan. I want
All
to
right.
be right here.
It's right between
Alright.
his legs. Just
Yeah, just,
Caligan, protect me.
he just runs past Caligan and just goes, Bear! The bear with the axe in its head is alive now. What happened?
I want my axe back.
All right.
Go get it!
Boris. Boris is the dog. Little
Yes.
wolf.
Boris is dog. He is wolf. Boris is going to just go, no, fuck it. Alright, we're going to get over right here. We're
Also
buddies."
withdraws.
Yeah.
Zips around the corner. He's like, "Rrr."
Get him, Boris.
Yes, you hear a very angry growling.
Happiest
Everybody
yells,
is aware
"Scraps,
that
get your
there's a
ass up
bear."
here.
You hear a
Everybody is aware.
Well, I mean, no, I mean, they're probably not because only Epius and I went in that room the first time, right? We're the only ones
Yep.
that know.
Yeah,
remember, there's a
and-
bear in there. I mean, obviously you know
Yeah,
now,
just-
but
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the ranger screaming past you.
So it is gonna have to squeeze to get up these stairs, so it would take its full round, but it can get up to where it's covering the stairs.
Block the door.
Yeah, I can block the door at least.
Excellent.
This is
And he's
perfect.
going to cast mage armor, I suppose, on himself with a scroll.
I think like from around the corner of the bookshelves because Rikus can't see any of this. So it's like, why does it sound like there's a bear? Did he say?
And
Did
that's
Grizz?
all I got.
Did Grizz say bear?
he didn't. He say bear. Sounds like
What?
Calgadir's getting another new hat.
Well, keep what you kill.
Keep what you kill. Yes.
I killed it once already.
Oh boy. Oh.
Right.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, that's right. It's
Perhaps.
abomination's turn.
Scraps needs to be embiggened.
All right. And Scraps is now the right size. I actually
noble
did put a
spirit.
Scraps just out. He's actually just inside, but it's okay. I deleted him now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot
No,
we're on the same
you're
map.
good. You're good. We're all on the same map. All right, cool. So Scraps is in there. Perfect. And let's see here. Calgadir.
Ooh,
Right.
initiative's messed up.
My point
No,
number
it's right.
It doesn't matter. Being that this just was like a office study, how strong do I think these walls are? And are they load bearing? Can I Kool-Aid Man through this wall?
You know what? Give me a strength check.
I will give you that strength check. Because I'm a big boy.
I'm looking for a big number because this is a really nice constructed house.
Uh,
You want to spend a hero point? Give yourself a +4?
Yeah, why not? Let's
You're
do
gonna
it.
burst through that wall.
All right.
Burst through that wall. You like literally just like press through it. Maybe you hack once or twice. You can move in and attack the bear if you want to.
B5 fo fum. Here's a bear that's fucking dumb. Yeah, so we're gonna bash through. So now there's like this fight going on, and then there were like the two giant robots fighting in the background of
You know
the city.
the damage to the house is coming right out of your pay, right?
Look, it's just a wall. We'll fix it. Yeah, let us attack the bear. Because, new hat time. Where's my...
Are you just gonna add it to your current hat, or are you just gonna keep?
It's
adding
just,
hats?
yes, I'm going to TF2 and just keep adding
Oh,
to my hat collection.
It's like the Russian nesting dolls. You just take off hats, so you got more hats.
Doesn't
That is-
confirm.
Doesn't
but it
confirm.
is 20 damage.
It
But
is 20
damage.
20 damage.
You slash into it, bear doesn't seem to care. Just... It says angry.
That will be my turn.
All right. And Rikus, you're up next.
GM, is there a way for me to conceivably get up to where that thing is so that I can hit it with a sword?
Yes.
You can move through the
Climb check,
things.
and then acrobatics check once
Oh,
you're up
that
on
thing.
the
Yeah, sorry.
once you're up on the top of the.
That's a horrible thing. My armor check penalty.
I don't know. Well, no one said it was easy.
All right. Shit. You know what? Let's do it.
Climb check to get up
so
there.
Climb check to get up here.
Yeah.
At a. Oh, so this I don't know how to change it. Since one of my fighter levels now, my armor check penalty is decreased by 1 for this armor. So I don't know how to change that on the
Just
sheet.
change
So-
the armor. Just change the armor.
Yeah,
armor check
modify.
penalty value.
Set it to
It-
edit
yeah,
mode. Go to the armor properties on the armor.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how to do that. It sounds like a lot of work. So
We'll
whatever this
just
is,
say that it's one higher.
Plus one.
whatever. Yeah, whatever it is, it's one higher.
Easy.
Nope.
All right, so I had
Yeah,
DC 15 in my head. You go to climb, but the books are
I'm-
kind of in the way, and you just knock a couple of books off the shelf, and the homunculus yells at you. No, it's book.
You know what? I'm just gonna. It's not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna pick up one of the books and throw it at him. And be like, "Fuck,
There he ends. Roll me a D100.
fuck the books."
Roll me a D100.
Just gonna-
Splats
You want to
against
roll
the
less than
ceiling.
20.
Nope.
Roll me a ranged touch attack.
Okay.
Ah.
Roll me a D6 plus strength.
Fuck up. All right. So my strength is not terribly high. It's only +2. So whatever this is, +2. 8.
You strike it and you break one of its wings. It kind of like almost loses a little bit of height and looks at you and says,
And I think just you just slowly reach down and pick up another book. Like, just-
"Scraps, you're up next."
It's working.
Yes.
It's
Kill the bear, Scraps. Oh, nat 1 on the first one or second one.
That's unfortunate. That is a good hit for 30. Or no, for 14. And
No, it's 10.
roll to confirm that second attack.
All right. Oh, the confirm's already in there. It's 19.
Oh, 19.
Right.
That does not confirm, so it's just a regular miss. And then roll to see if it
Alright.
goes crazy. I didn't go crazy.
I already did.
Okay, good. All right, Lucas, you're up next.
Brava.
Lucas is unsure what to do. So he casts Light Prison on the little flying creature. And it needs a DC 15.
What are you casting?
Light Prison.
I like it. DC 15 what?
Reflex.
Reflex save? Pretty okay at
It'll
reflex. Not
it'll
great.
probably
It's pretty
pass it,
okay.
but- Yeah, that sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see a big old light
Yeah,
cage.
Cage comes
Looks like
down and it
cage
like
comes up.
sidesteps.
It just moves out of the
Flutters.
way.
It's like, I don't like it. I don't want it.
Well, that sucks, but that's all. And then I will 5 foot down there.
All right. All right. Next up, this creature is going to wait for Boris to take its turn. Is Boris in there twice?
No.
No.
What's Boris gonna do?
Are these bookshelves still standing, or did they just all
No, the
get...
3 in the center, the 4 in the center, all knocked over.
Okay, but this one's still up.
So many bones, fire. So many bones. Yes, that one next to Rikus is still up.
We're gonna move Boris next to Rikus.
Get away from me. I don't have any. We've talked about this.
It's looking at your fingers.
Yep.
Licking its
Boris-
chops.
I like to imagine Boris doesn't try and bite Calgadir because he bit him, and then Calgadir bit him back.
All right, this bear. Now it's Bear's turn. This bear its eyes are going to glow blood red. The
It's
kind
a bear.
of horns on it, where you realize it's like probably touched by some sort of fiendish influence, start to kind of crackle with electricity, very anime style. And you feel like you might have been smoten by chance.
Ooh.
Are you good aligned?
Chaotic good, yeah.
All right. Well, you've just been smoted good by this creature, and it's going to swing on you a couple of times, and we're going to see what happens.
So, first thing, my man, I need you to give me D100.
All right, I can do that. 13.
Miss.
All right.
I have blur.
It's gonna claw. So it tried to bite. Now it's clawing at you. 31.
Still got yeah. So
54.
that it makes through. All right. 31 hits.
Second claw. Ooh, this thing's on fire. 59.
That makes it through as well.
All right, so it's gonna claw you twice, hitting you twice, and it's gonna deal some damage. It's gonna deal.
I bet it is.
It's gonna deal some damage, and it's gonna try to grab you.
Okay.
So you are gonna take. You only take 22 points of damage,
Okay.
Oh,
and then it's gonna attempt to grapple you.
All right.
And let me do this. What is your CMD?
23.
It's pretty good, actually.
I am a strength boy.
It grapples you.
Okay.
Now it's gonna rend.
Oh, lovely.
nice walking.
24 points of damage.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Dude, that's not good.
So you guys
at all.
watch as this bear goes to chomps at where Calgadir isn't, then wraps both of its claws like onto his side,
Yeah.
tears down, then proceeds to pick him up and just smash him into the ground
Right.
like multiple times.
Let me double check my HP because I don't think it's.
A lot of hurting. A lot of hurting. But with that, Lodo.
The bear.
over here in the corner, is going to fly over here, is going to produce a scroll
No.
from its little satchel,
Of course it is.
and it's going to go to cast a spell. Now, it does have to
Nope.
make, it doesn't have this on its spell list. So it's got to make a use magic device check. It succeeds. I need the golem to give us a will save, please.
The golem's immune to magic.
I need the golem to give us a will save, please.
21.
All right. You get the feeling like this creature just tried to enact control over the golem before you.
Would be good.
And give me a spellcraft check on this spell.
That's awful.
It just tried to cast something you have no idea. You've never heard of it before, but you're pretty sure it just tried to enact control over the golem. Gris, you're up next. Good
Roll
thing
a
that
3,
didn't
roll
work,
a 3.
because it would have immediately
Yeah.
told it to kill you.
Alright, so that's not gonna be. Wait, one second. I'm not on the right plus. Let's try this.
Whip
I'm
Gris.
going
The whip.
I'm going to rapid shot this little tiny dude.
That is such a good idea.
I should have just taken my $4,000 and
What did you say, Aaron? You were breaking up.
I just said I should have taken my $4,000 and gone home.
You could have retired. But a
Could
nice
have retired.
farm on the countryside.
I have a farm. I can fix it up. That's why I'm out here.
All right, good news. Both of those hit for 12 damage, and the creature has 2 arrows sticking out of it. Doesn't really seem to be affected by like pain because it's a construct, but it's looking more and more angry. No, let's defend the master spanner. No,
He's dead!
Boris.
We've got the paperwork.
This is legal!
Epius is going to attempt to cast Snowball and hit the imp thing.
Oh, I'm not.
Homunculus.
Okay, I'm dumb.
Do
I'm
it
not
up.
conscious either.
So that's my attack roll. Does 16 as touch AC?
Absolutely.
And it takes 7 cold. That's that was a horrendous roll.
No, it screeches. All right.
That's all I got.
And Calgadir, you are still conscious, and there is a bear
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah, I'm still conscious. There's a bear in front of me, and he's just going to shout, "Gentlemen, I can use some help here!" And Calgadir's going to do what Calgadir can do, and that's to swing
Man,
a
that was a
really
terrible roll on those die, man.
That's what I
really-
said. That was
That
awful.
was
Oof.
bad.
That is bad.
Sucks.
Throw those dice in jail. All right. Yeah. No. Let's do the dance.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Solid blow.
27, and then I don't think there's anything else I can do. Yeah, that's it. That'll be my turn.
Rikus.
Book.
Book. I really want you to throw another book. If
Splatter
you
him
kill
against
this
a
thing with a
wall.
book,
Splatter him like a
it will be one of the
mosquito.
greatest moments of my DMing career.
All right. So Rikus is going to move down to here and get the biggest looking book that he can find.
Roll me a D100. You want to roll less than 50.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to get an Encyclopedia Britannica and really eat one of those at him. That'll do some
I
heavy.
got
You
50.
Fantastic. Chuck the book.
Range touch attack.
Yep.
All right.
Look, Shaka.
That's a hit. Roll me a D percentile. You want to roll greater than 30.
So just another D100.
Yep. Fantastic. You chuck this book, it flies towards the creature, and it kind of does like a spiral, like a floop, splorch, crushes it against the ceiling, like the molding, like the crown molding, and you just hear this, and there's just a crush, homunculus, and as the book falls down, a single page kind of flutters down, and you see what looks to be a scroll. And Epius, you would recognize this as a scroll of fireball, that there was a small chance that it would have accidentally gone off. So good news that it didn't. Good news that it didn't. The caster level on that scroll, by the way,
Probably
level,
a lot.
Level 10.
Oh,
Ah.
good stuff. That would have been fantastic.
That'd
We
have
would have just blown up the manor.
That would've
Is
blown
that
up the
the-
house?
It's like the
Everyone
manor's
wants
self-destruct
bones.
button.
Yes.
No, it would have
Everyone's
been
bones.
would have been
That
like
would
that.
put me down.
Hard, crispy bones.
Well, it just would have been that part in freaking Halo Reach where the freaking slip drive goes off and just like the alien ship, the Covenant ship's just gone. But
The good
yeah,
news is, as
so-
soon as the homunculus is destroyed, the bear disappears into kind of black, shadowy dust, and the manor falls silent.
Good. I pick up my hatchet that I threw on his head.
And immediately, Rikus is running over and he's taking the book. He's just like, "This is now my lucky book."
How big is this book?
How big is this book?
You know, like those like dictionaries that you see in the library sometimes they're like huge.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Jesus Christ! How much is out of your encumbrance?
It's like a 10 pound. It's like a 10-pound book.
You get it incorporated into your new thick wooden shield, like a paladin size
Yeah.
of thing.
You know what? You can take the feat, throw anything, but only for this book, and you can have that for free.
He's proficient
There you
in
go.
the book.
Proficient in throwing this particular.
You're allowed
throwing
to,
book.
you're allowed to make it masterwork as well as
A
to
masterwork
eventually
book.
enchant it, and you can take weapon feats for it if you so choose.
I'm.
It's a little silly. I don't encourage you to do that, but
I'm
you know,
not.
within
I'm
reason.
not actually going to
There's-
take the book. I'm
Aaron,
just. Yo,
Aaron,
yes.
you do not kill the dragon at the end of this game
With
With the
that
book.
book. I'm
There's a,
coming to
Oh,
Canada and we're fighting.
wait. Oh, it's already dead. I should have told him I'm going to throw the book at him.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay,
Ugh.
there's a
I
webcomic
gotta
where a paladin
go.
essentially does that with a brick. It's
Cal-
now a brick on a rope.
Calganeer extra 6.
Oh yeah, I need some.
Now,
extra
what you've
4.
discovered, Epius, is that
Beautiful
all
healing.
of the charms that had previously been attuned to this manor, it appears that
Chris,
all of the
2.
attuning has been modified and
Chris,
changed to
4.
where they no longer work. So, something you guys should be aware of.
So it's magic traps again.
But you have a golem. You'll be fine.
What is this book anyway, GM? Like what is it? It's not like a spell book or.
Oh, so it's it's actually the Inner Sea World Guide is what it's called.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the Inner Sea World Guide. It's just all of information about like Galorian and the Inner Sea and the
Ooh.
different cities, and it's just like a worldly book and has like basic information on pretty much everywhere.
And yeah, Rikus just starts flipping through. It's like okay, one,
Yeah,
two,
plus
three,
5
two,
on
two,
any like knowledge geography checks or
Huh.
knowledge local to know about like an area's customs. If
Can you imagine this?
If you spend like 10 minutes studying the book.
Gris, 13 more.
It's like 2 sentences about Caldeman in here.
Can you shrink me back down to normal size?
That's actually really
Please.
funny. Boop, 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 boop.
Trying to go out that hatch when it got shot at. Points up to the ladder.
It did.
Hmm. Well, I could. Can we check it for traps, regular kind, and then I'll try to go up?
Have anyone?
No.
He's going to go ahead and detect magic on the hatch door and the ladder.
You may do so. You may do so. So you detect no magic on the door, the trap door. You detect no magic on the trap door.
Excellent. Well, it's clear as far as I can tell, but it could be a mechanical trap.
Yeah. Chris, do you want to take a look? I'll go up because I feel like you've had a pretty busy day.
I can have a look. That's not a problem.
But I'll open it once you clear it.
Just to like clap on the shoulder, just good
So
throw.
just to the bottom right of the area you're in, you will see a what looks to be an observatory. And that's where you guys will be heading off to.
Ooh.
You come up through the trapdoor on the left-hand side. And what you find is when the glass-domed chamber is an enormous telescope that sits upon a platform over a veritable sea of metal gears. An angled metal chair sits below the device within reach of a cluster of pedals and levers that enable its occupant to perform adjustments to the telescope's orientation. Tables covered in books and charts occupy the southern east corner. The view of the surrounding skies afforded by the glass dome is breathtaking in its expanse. You also take some time to analyze the contents of this room. And what you find is you find an interesting, what looks to be like a to-do list. The to-do list says the following: conjure accuser devil, and disguising text of secrets of the dreaming dark. So conjure accuser devil regarding text of secrets of the dreaming dark. Number 2, also crossed out: animate Damien's remains in guardian form for cave. This is not crossed out. Repair hinges of secret door in clockwork lab. Attempt second contact with Dominion via books ritual before loan to A. Confirm demolition date with A's kobolds.
Oh, so he was.
Yeah, he was
All over it.
full. He was just full into this whole plot.
What was it about Dominion? Confirm.
Second contact?
Attempt second contact with Dominion via books ritual before loan to A.
Does it reference what book? Dreaming Dark, maybe?
The Dreaming Dark book. You got it.
A.
Well, if we can
We-
find it.
We heard that name, didn't we? A
Dominion?
Taparax?
Eox, Octurne, Carcosa, Dominion are the names we had previously.
But I know I've heard that name, a Taparax, and I can't remember where exactly. Somebody said that name.
Was it the Kobold Chieftain? He
It-
shouted out and he won't be stopped?
It could be, yes. I think that might be it.
Either way, keep your eyes out for this Dreaming Dark book. I don't think that's going to be returned to the mayor. I think it'll have been lost.
And do you guys want to take some time to look into some of the books in this chamber?
Yeah.
If Epius can tell me that the telescope is not magical, I'd like to take a look through the telescope and see what the last thing Hunclay was looking at.
So the telescope is angled up into the sky. Now it's day, but if you were to return at night and perhaps look up into the night sky, you might be able to see what constellation it was angled towards.
Does anybody mind staying here until we can? I don't know.
We were told to
Let-
catalog things.
Let's
Yeah.
have a
Might take
sleepover.
all day.
It's going to take a while, right?
Epius, do you know what this book looks like?
I've never seen it. It could be bound in anything.
Well, I suppose I could start on all the scrolls and books that Calgadir
Just-
knocked over downstairs.
Just set anything aside that you can't read.
I'll
That's
a different
that's all
language.
of them. That's all of them.
I'll give you a hand,
Wait, you
Gris. But let's get those bookshelves straightened
Can't
up
read
if we
common,
can.
Gris.
I can speak common. I don't read.
But
I'm an outdoors boy.
If
I
you like,
can-
we can fix that at some point.
I mean, I can probably teach you some if we decide we're going to read a little out here. We'll start with the alphabet, and Rikus will just head back down the trapdoor. He'll just go down the ladder, going A B C D.
just looks at Calgadir and is like, he's gonna have a better chance teaching Boris than me.
And then you hear
Is there
the
anything
wolf,
else
the
up
wolf
here?
downstairs, like. Rawr, rawr,
So I did
rawr.
add the wizard's to-do list to the pop outs, just so you know.
Oh, thank you.
It's under handouts, the wizard's to-do list. You should be able to view that.
Oh,
we can see
beautiful!
it.
I was trying to type it up as you were talking. So considerate.
And there it is. So it just gives you everything that you need. There you go. But you just find a number of star charts, books, rare astronomy tomes from the age Teldon pedigree, 2 expensive handheld telescopes. Just every room you go into has at least 5 to 10,000 gold worth of just really nice stuff. Like, it's just really nice. So again, your job is to catalog, put together, clear out any of the traps, just get this ready for the auction that's to happen in a week's time.
And one thing I want to do though is I saw the little homunculus thing. He had a little whistle and he had a wand. I want to see if he still got those.
Give me a D100 on the wand to see if it broke.
Oh,
You
sure.
did crush it with a massive
I did
tome.
smack it with a big old book.
High or low, you tell me.
Oh shit! Oh, let me do it again.
Yeah.
And this time I'm gonna go low. Okay,
It-
high. It broke.
It broke.
All right.
unfortunately.
But what about the whistle?
The whistle, perfect condition.
Excellent.
Stick it with the bear head, I suppose.
On the left-hand side of the second story, so this is back down where you guys were before, there is the master's bedchamber. So this is just a really nice, fanciful bedroom. And there's another bearskin
Oh,
there. However, right, because as you
Sword.
enter in, the whistle that you're holding
Yeah.
feels warm.
Oh.
Oh, you could summon a bear.
Yeah. Is Lucas? Are you down here with me? Or-
Yeah, I'm next to the door.
And Grizz. Okay. All right. I know this thing blew a whistle, and I think it made that other bear. I think the whistle could make this bear be a bear and not a rug. Again, it's really warm. Feel this.
It's very warm. It's like it was like sitting next to a fire for an extended period of time.
And I think just almost like to fuck with Gris, right? It's gonna be like,
I've got one here. I will put it in your knee.
How big is this bear rug?
It could be huge size. It's really big.
So Calgadir can't wear it as a cape and use it to deploy tactical bear.
Tactical bear, that's hilarious, actually.
If it's large, you do it. Just get it remade into a cape. And it's like, yes, but no.
well,
Have you met my friend?
Does anything detect as magics from other than the bear?
No, other than the bear, that is detecting as some pretty powerful actually conjuration. Like high moderate conjuration magic.
as soon as Epius comes in here, Rikus will give him the whistle and be like, I probably shouldn't have this.
Gets rolling this carpet up. I suppose they're connected.
I mean, the carpet is one of the traps, so they did ask us to clear away the traps. So that's what we're doing.
Honestly, just damaging the carpet would probably remove any of the magic that's upon it.
No, we're gonna clear the trap.
Cut it apart then. Fine.
It's very dangerous. We
Do we have,
probably get
like-
some money for that.
Do we have like a thing of sticky notes we can use for like, a trap here?
This one was a
Don't-
trap.
Don't touch this. Don't touch this.
Oh,
So are we taking the bear? Am I rolling this thing up?
all list bear rug trap.
Yeah, roll it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll take. Somebody will pay for. Somebody will pay good money for that.
Either that,
Just-
or we can deploy a bear.
Very legalistic use of
I believe
the
the term was-
terms we were given.
Tactical bear.
Tactical bear.
just rolling up this carpet, looking at Rackets.
And
get this thing
nothing
by
else
the
of
way,
note in
or
here?
Kick your ass.
Nope, just the room's contents again between 5,000 and 10,000 gold worth of just very nice
Alright.
like, sheets and clothing and blankets. And,
What's the thread count on them sheets?
like 10,000.
Oh my god.
I mean, it,
Damn.
it,
Stand
it
up
feels
bed.
like
That's some nice ass
it
sheets.
feels like literally like it's so soft that it's like they're not even there.
This is like
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 you're sleeping
aerogel-
on
like-
air.
Like aerogel.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah.
exactly.
so.
I'd be down.
And I think as Rikus is going to help Grizz roll up the bear, and he's just going to look at him and say, "You know, I mean, your own wolf has bitten you several times. Have you ever stopped to consider the fact that it may be you?"
Rackets, you and I will go outside right now.
He just needs to bite it back. That's what I did.
Why do we want to go outside?
I'm going to hit you in the face.
You need to be outside to do that. You can do that here.
Why don't-
I've been electrocuted twice today and almost eaten by a dead bear with Calgadir's axe in its head.
Oh, cry about it.
That's
I-
called another
I-
day at the office for people like us.
I was about to say, you look at Caladir. He does that like every day. What are you bitching about?
And
Well-
is the that book anywhere up here, The Secrets of the Dreaming Dark?
It is not.
Teddy Roosevelt. Amazing.
Gris is then gonna look at Rikus and say, there was a basement where you're supposed to check too.
Teddy Rex.
Yeah. Hey, you know,
So the basement goes down the stairwell.
Movie.
So the stairwell leads down into the basement. So the stairwell goes up, then it goes down. So you just have to go down that spiral staircase.
On scraps, we're going back down.
Bruh.
brains.
That's disconcerting. It shouldn't be saying that. That's not.
Gris is just like,
no,
"Dude, what about
you
evidence?
have no
Can we-
brains.
Can we fix like evidence, like or gather them up in a bucket, or what? Do I
Oh
do?
no, he's gone. The binding magic.
Aw.
He's spent.
He's gone forever.
I like
It's-
fucking with him though.
Calgadir will take some of his bones to incorporate into his next piece of armor, however,
I like it.
because he's a weird
Yeah.
tribal person,
I
and
like
that's what he's
reminds
going
that.
to.
I love, in fact, reminds that. So you guys will be moving down to the lower level, which is down over here.
You know,
Where are we at?
I wonder if the wizard, I mean,
there.
secret door in the clockwork hold. Have we been oh, was that the ruined tower?
I believe so.
Then he did that. He just never made it back. So perhaps he did the rest of the things on this list and just never returned to cross them off. Those kobolds may have that book.
Could be the case.
We well, we didn't specifically look for a book.
I think it
Maybe.
would have stood out if there was a book amongst the kobolds.
Yeah, they're not, particularly known for being avid readers, as far as I'm recalling. So
Maybe. I just can't help but think that's going to cause us problems.
Can't imagine it won't.
Oh well, into this basement, I guess.
As you reach the basement and get to the base, you hear this what sounds like a bleating, like a goat crying. Like, from somewhere deeper in the basement. You also hear, does anyone here speak Abyssal?
Oh, good. That's the
Yes.
goddamn.
that's wizard shit.
Release me! Release me!
Goddamn accuser devil.
Release me!
Oh God, what is he? The goat from that? What was that goat game?
Well, he
Goat
honestly
Simulator?
sounds like Garbad the Weak from Diablo 1.
Oh God, oh that's bringing back some
Please.
memories.
Oh my
hurt.
god, yes.
Live and give good.
Epius will report there's a
that
demon
game.
somewhere down here or something along those lines.
It's a goat.
Well,
Does it bleed?
it does bleed. It's a goat.
Appius shrugs and says, probably not if it's a Baylor.
If it
Well,
well,
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
if it bleats, we can kill it.
Oh God.
You just get a light just to have on the door, like, I got you. That's a good one.
So Appius gonna scan detect magic as he moves ahead.
And
Excellent.
I'm gonna do what I've been waiting to do all session. Rikus is going to draw his longsword and say, "Karad."
And it illuminates the area. It illuminates the area in a 60-foot wide kind of cone, this like dome of perfect light. But it does not blind you. It just illuminates the area. So you have a 60-foot wide area where you can just see everything. It's very
Put
nice.
an aura on this. I like to imagine it like looks very good on the Kagadir's like obsidian axe, just the reflection of the
Something
light
off.
off of it.
I
Yeah.
just feel
it's
like
nice.
the axe like simultaneously becomes brighter and darker at the same time, like it drinks the
Yeah.
light.
It's like a weird like lava thing going. It's
Yes.
cool. Very cool.
All right. So you are picking up some magic in this area, and there appears to be a set of maybe 2 to 3 supply closets over in that hallway.
He's gonna step to the precipice and say, if anyone would be my guest, there's magic down that way, but I'm not the most perceptive one here or the most durable.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well,
Wait, which? Yeah.
my father always used to say, if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough. So Rikus is going to start moving down.
I'm going to get to the end of this hall and ready an arrow for if something comes at me aggressively.
I've got I'm behind Rikus, but Kagadir's got his axe in one hand and like he's got his hand like
the middle
not
door, here, which appears to be a closet of some sort, is detecting with powerful evocation magic. There appears to be maybe a trap of some kind on it.
Leave the middle one's trapped. Can I identify any sort of what trap or have any way to...
Spellcraft check.
All right, let me get closer so I can actually do that.
Kagadir's got like
It's
his
only fair.
he's got his
If
grip
the
on like
correct
Rikus with the phone.
password or passphrase is not spoken, this door will explode outward in a modified cone of cold that is, instead of cold, it is electricity.
Hmm.
Hunclay had an element that he liked.
We have someone who has resist 10 right now. But that's not probably going to eat the majority of that damage.
Yeah.
No.
Trying to think if we come across anything anybody can remember that was a favorite word of his or something.
Well, we can go speak to that demon and see if he heard the password spoken. If we can hear him from here, perhaps he heard the password.
Perhaps.
Release me.
Look, I may not be the smartest, but you make a deal with the devil, don't you?
Well, it's not a devil. And demons are much less intelligent than devils are.
Well, I mean, it's
Well, on the list
It's
it
gonna
said
want
accuser devil.
Speaking abyssal, not infernal.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yes, how silly of me.
Release.
Appius shrugs. I haven't seen the damn
me.
thing yet. It might have a speech impediment for all I know. Well, let's go find it.
Release me.
Let's go find it if we have to. We'll just cut its head off.
Wait, maybe you can get a new hat.
Where is that coming from?
Funny you should ask. I'm going to reveal an additional chamber that is very close.
My God.
Where
More
you-
map. My God.
All
Skadoosh.
right, you guys will find.
Oh, it's a
This
little gross
10-foot
thing in there.
square antechamber's north wall is artfully wrought gate of bright metal that opens into the larger chamber beyond. The walls of this chamber are covered with strange glyphs and runes, including one enormous word scrawled in 1-foot-high letters across the northern wall. That word appears to be a name, and you know what? it's a demon name, so it's real hard to say. But that's the demon name.
That's a lot of syllables.
Shepantanguligi. Shepantanguligi. Shepantanguligi.
Shapantangulagi, is that you in there?
Please,
Abyssal.
release me.
A lot of consonants.
Does he cover his ears?
Yeah, he does. He doesn't like that name.
You know the password to this chamber in here. Have you heard anything spoken?
Release me, mortal. Release me. I have been trapped here for days, weeks, months, I believe. Where is Huntley? Where is the wizard? Release me that I might wrought my vengeance upon him.
We have no reason to release you if you don't give us what we want.
How do I know I can trust you? How do I know you will not deceive me and leave me in my cage?
What's the sheep saying?
Yeah, this is
The
all
sheep
in
doesn't trust us.
Abyssal.
It wants us to release it, but it doesn't want to trust us, but it's going to sit there and starve to death if we don't, or sit there for eternity because I don't know if they eat. And he's going to switch to Celestial. Lucas speaks Celestial, right?
Yes, I do.
I don't want to take the chance that he speaks Common and is just trying to play us, but I don't particularly want to release this thing, even if we do make an agreement with it.
Evil creatures cannot be trusted, cannot be relied upon, especially from the plains. I just don't know how we're going to get into the other room.
Are you here via a gate or are you summoned? Will you leave this plane?
Summoned! Trapped here! Release me that I might return to the abyssal realms, and then find my way back to the mortal tame to wrought my vengeance upon Hunkley, that bastard!
Ooh, I heard Hunkley. I understood that.
We've already destroyed Hunkley, the abomination he is, which is technically a lie, but he's dead. I guess we killed the.
And I will find his soul in the hell. Bring him to the abyss that I might torture him for all eternity.
Give us what we want, and we'll let you go.
What
as you
do
promise
you
to go back to the
desire?
abyss. The word you've heard spoken outside in this hallway to access the closet.
The sheer demon, which is like a goat demon. He's got a trident in his hand made of blood red metal. Kind of twitches his ears, his goat ears, kind of do like a little flicking kind of thing. So much like a cat does when it's like got an itch, kind of like flicks its ear, or even like a goat when there's a fly around it. And he says in Draconic, he says the word peace in Draconic. Perfect Draconic. Simply the word peace.
Let us go verify that you have told us the truth, and we will return to release you. And Epius will stand at the end of the hallway and say, "That's the password. I'll die if he lied to me."
Cogador will go with him because Cogador speaks Draconic and would have heard it.
No, I'm saying like Epius is not going to use the password on the door because if the demon lied, he's going to explode. He'll be meaty chunks.
Let me see what
I think it's either Rikus or Lucas is the most durable against this trap right now.
Well,
because Lucas has the resist energy.
when I rage, resist energy is one of the spells I could choose from, so I could enter a rage and then get that for a round to open the door.
The word is Adun. Adun. Adun.
Entaro Adun.
So
I
guess
we don't
do that.
We don't see this thing. I take it because you didn't describe it.
That thing?
Yeah. I
That
assume
thing?
we don't see it.
That thing's not there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure.
The fact that he says don't worry about it makes me worry about it.
Yeah.
So I will stand in front of the door because why not?
I mean, I was going to do it just so Grizz would shut up about being electrocuted.
Enter rage and then give himself his resist energy 10 for frost.
No electricity.
Electricity. I thought, yeah. And then I will
With a
A
modified code of gold.
dune.
And the door opens. All 3 doors open, actually.
Cool.
And you see a couple different chambers.
Hmm.
And inside of these chambers, you find that there are 3 similar storage rooms lying along this corridor. The eastmost is well-stocked wine cellar, with wines from all over the continent, all of the inner sea. In fact, the book you have, the encyclopedia, actually has some notes on some of these wines. Like, very, very, very nice. There's also bits of beef, pork, mutton. There's also a wall of permanent ice on the back side, which is that center chamber. So it's acting as like a magical freezer. So it's like a deep freeze. Yeah.
Nice.
And then the westernmost closet contains a large supply of magical components for spellcasting and research. And yeah, it's just a lot of really nice stuff. It's a storage area.
Excellent.
Well, I mean,
Well, I'm gonna just give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna grab one of these bottles.
I have done what you asked. Release me.
I really don't want to fight that thing.
What is
Appius,
it?
Appius looks at Lucas and says, "Is anyone going to stop me? I gave it my word."
If it's
I
just
don't-
going to fuck off, I mean, it has
It
no
says-
reason to
like,
come
to-
back.
It says it's going to fuck off.
Well, if it doesn't fuck
Everybody
off, we'll
be-
just kill it.
Everybody come this way before he does. Let's just make sure.
All right. Can I identify any way to release this demon that I
You
had no idea if I could or
scratch
not?
out the name on the back wall, it will likely end the binding spell that's holding it in this pit.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, it's
we have a job for your sword there, Rikus. Hack up that name.
Well, any practice is good practice.
As soon
Um,
as the first strike is done, there is a crackling kind of rift of energy that travels around the circle, and you see this pentagram appear and like rise up and then like shatter into what looks like shards of glass. The creature roars freedom and instantaneously Greater teleports away, disappearing.
All right then.
That's not going to come back and bite us.
well, it's after Hunklei's soul or whatever, and it's not here, so
Is there anything in this
job done.
pit thing?
No.
I mean,
Get out of here.
yep, we got another tunnel to go down, I believe.
Yeah, around this corner here.
So nothing to it but to do it, lads.
Yeah, so this is going
Aye,
to
aye.
lead you up to an additional chamber. And I will reveal it to you.
Reveal your secrets.
You keep your secrets.
Keep your secrets, Gandalf.
You find an additional chamber.
Oh dear.
An additional chamber. This 6 stone slabs sit on the floor of this chamber. Heaped upon each are metal tools, gears, springs, and other parts for the construction of mechanical creations.
Oh,
This appears to be a clockwork lab. And if you remember, there was a note about fixing
Secret door.
a secret door in the clockwork lab. And so you quickly realize that there is a side chamber, a passageway, that leads to a secret area deeper inside the basement. And that door was never repaired, that secret door.
We didn't need a dwarf.
No. No, we didn't.
Cool. Make our way over there then.
Very good. Very, very good. So let me go ahead and reveal some additional passageways here for you. All right. So we got this. Then we got some of this. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Got one of these. You will all hear this prior to getting near the end of that next passageway. You would hear what sounds like... Well, it sounds like if whispers whispered. And what I mean by that, it is as though you are hearing a quiet conversation on the other side of a doorway, but you're hearing that conversation secondhand. It's actually quite disturbing. It's actually quite... It actually is a little bit unnerving. And you notice that as you round the corner, Rikus, your light from your sword gets to this partially opened door, and no matter how close you get to it, it doesn't seem to fully penetrate. It does not create this bright kind of light that you're used to doing over the last couple of minutes you've been using it. It seems to only be casting shadows and dim light, area of dim light. So it's like low light vision style. And inside of this chamber, you see multiple runes carved in a circle, and you can just make out what appears to be a hovering, shadowy smoke lady wearing blue armor, hovering just in the center of this runic circle.
What might I roll to identify this
You
creature?
may roll a knowledge of the planes, good sir.
Not great.
This is a Shay. This is a Shay, S-H-A-E. These are white porcelain mask and elegant blue clothing provide a form and contrast to its shadowy woman's body. These are neutral outsiders of the plane of shadow.
Didn't they say, sorry, Epius, didn't you say that my sword, the name on my sword, was potentially from the plane of shadow?
Sure. I did say that. We want to talk to her about it?
Can
Kind
it
of gives you a
speak?
shit-eating grin. I don't know that much about these things.
In a whispered voice, feminine in its nature, but very breathy. What is it now? I recognize you not, mortals. Are you minions of the petty human? If not, I plead with you to release me from this unjust and outrageous imprisonment. Do so, and you shall be rewarded.
Are you talking about Hunclay? Because he's already dead.
Then please, I beseech you, release me from this prison. I have been kept here against my will for years.
Does Calgary pick up kind of like a fellow warrior spirit kind of feeling from this lady?
You do pick up a fellow warrior kind of feeling.
I'm doing
What
a
was his
sense
purpose
motive
with you,
on her.
Hunkley?
He brought me here to ask me questions about things that no mortals would inquire upon. And for years I have resisted those questions, giving him only half-truths and outright lies.
What is it he wants to know about that we shouldn't know of?
She seems suddenly less pleading and more suspicious of you
We're
all.
not- We've already released the devil to get into other things, or the demon. We're not here some ploy of Hunclay's. We want to stop what he's doing. He was working with the kobolds, and we were hired by the mayor to stop them.
Wait. Give me a diplomacy check, whoever wants to plead with her, because she looks very suspicious of you all now.
Can I do something that maybe
I'll just
I hope will help someone who wants to do this diplomacy check?
Yeah.
I want to extinguish my sword and just sort of hold it out to her so that she can read the name on it.
And she looks down at the blade. How is it, young warrior, that you came across this weapon? A weapon that, until I was imprisoned here, I called my own.
Ooh.
Well,
So it
to
was
be
stolen.
honest, I had hoped it was not stolen, but I purchased this from a blacksmith.
They must have sold it.
She nods.
And
Where was the last place you
And-
had it?
Mortal, warrior, do you think that it is even possible for a stolen item to be rightfully purchased? I assume at the time of its purchase you did not know of its nature. So does that make you complicit in the crime? Or does that make you free of all burden?
you
She
say...
seems wholly focused on Rikus. Excuse me for interrupting.
No. You say it's yours. I have no reason to disbelieve you. Though I have no reason to trust what you say either. But
She whispers a word that you do not know. The sword dematerializes from your hand and clatters to the ground. It seems immaterial in this moment.
I believe her
And-
now.
yeah, Rikus will nod and say, if it belongs to you, then it belongs to you still.
She floats closer to the edge of the circle, kind of almost starts to like kneel down and looks at the sword. If you are kind of heart and good of spirit, pick up that sword and scratch out this rune. Give me my freedom, and you may keep the sword with my blessing.
And yeah, Rikus will bend down and take up the sword.
I would be freeing her because that's part of my religion.
Mm-hmm. And as you scratch out the rune, Rikus, you see her kind of grow a little bit darker and a little bit bigger in this moment. And she actually reaches, kind of like dragging a single smoky finger, along the blade's edge up to the top. Gets up next to you, very close, face to face. You can kind of almost feel this almost cold kind of breath coming from her. And she says, "You are good. A quality that is easily snuffed out with the evils of the world. Never forget to show kindness when you can." And she will kiss his forehead. Simultaneously, the sword starts to feel very light, and the sword now has the ghost touch quality.
Interesting.
Deals full damage to immaterial things, so like ghosts, shadows, things like
Shadow
that.
rats.
Shadow rats, like anything like that, like deals like it's just full damage, which is great.
Nice.
And she will
Yeah.
look over at the rest of you. To answer your question, the wizard Hungplay was inquiring about the Dreaming Dark. It is a evil and terrible thing from the plane of shadow. It allows those who seek its wisdom, and I say wisdom with... I use it that term in its broadest sense. It allows them to warp reality in ways that are corrupting in their nature. Anything you attempt to do is always warped in some horrific way that you do not intend. But it is an enticing power. Because it promises you everything, but from you it takes everything.
Thank you for this information.
She will look, nod. I will be close by. Should you need me, and she'll look directly at Rikus, simply speak my name into the sword, and I shall appear at one time to assist you in your fights. Good luck, and be safe. And then she will dimension door away.
This is a weird place.
It's a weird place. There's a lot of weird people around here.
But she was better than the goat.
If I didn't hate that home play before, I certainly do now.
It's not what he seemed at the college.
Well, now he has a goat demon man chasing his soul. So you reap what you sow.
Looks like we got one more pathway, boys.
And as you round the corner, you eventually come to a long corridor that spirals up and around. And you know what? I'm just going to do this. This will just be easier. I'm not going to polygon reveal because that's annoying. I'm just going to do one of these. Oops. Reveal areas. All right. You find a long corridor that ends in a single chamber, and the corridor is illuminated with a very intense wall of light. So bright that that little 10 by 10 chamber at the end, you can't even see it. It looks like you're staring directly into the sun. But there is a number of like just books, research, a lot of things on research into this dream, this this dreaming dark. A lot of like just books, ancient tomes and volumes on the dreaming dark.
I don't think this is making it back to the mayor. If what the shadow said was true, I don't think we should be
Definitely.
selling off this kind of information.
I concur.
If anyone chooses to make their way to this little chamber here, let me know.
Yeah. I'll definitely.
Detect magic on the light first.
Yeah.
It's a wall of light.
Okay.
And as you get to the end, you see that there is a black adamantine door. Like a thick door with a giant vault-like spinning wheel handle on it. And there is also a sliding like peephole. So you
Like
could
a
like
prison.
slide it and just look inside, like a prison door.
Yeah,
kind of
prison
thing.
door,
Yeah.
If it's magic, I mean, obviously.
There's powerful conjuration magic on the other side of that door.
It's reassuring.
Very
There's powerful conjuration.
I don't know what that means.
This is just something has been
They
summoned
summon
or
things.
something.
Okay.
So do I open to have a look or?
Look, just here. You don't have to do that. You've been electrocuted twice today. And it's Rikus is going to do it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead and cycle through his languages through the slit first. Is anything in there? Hello? You know, that kind of thing. Just cycling through his languages.
He
That's
sounds
a
pleasant.
gibbering mouther?
Sounds pleasant.
Sounds like you, Calgadir, after 3 or 4 bottles of wine.
3 or 4, please.
Dozen.
It is, but 13.
Yes, as you lean in and try and talk to whatever the hell's in there, I need you to give me a will save.
Oh, that's good. You're driven insane.
Nope. I'm gonna hero point that and re-roll that.
It's a good plan.
But why the light, though? The
Yeah, you feel your mind starting to kind of like come unhinged for a moment. You start to see flashes of like bodies all over a floor, fields of battle, horrific storms, your mother just looking really disappointed at you, like all of these terrible things. And then you snap back to it, and you're pretty sure there's something on the other side. Give me a what is aberration? I always forget.
Dungeoneering?
Dungeoneering. Give me a knowledge dungeoneering if you have it. That's a friggin' gibbering mouther over there. It's a big one. It's also invisible for some reason.
Start sticking through that door. Or through the hatch.
Like, just start stabbing?
Yeah, there's something invisible in there. It's not good. It might try and assault your mind. So, close your ears.
Do we know if they're not immune to fire, are they?
They're not.
How big is this slit? Like, can I like take an alchemist fire and just like huck it through like a grenade through a window?
You absolutely could.
I'm a
Like
dude.
German
Okay.
pillbox.
I got one of those. I got one of those
Exactly.
too, just... Yeah.
As you go up to the door and you pull back to toss it, the walls around the chamber that are illuminating start to melt. And by melt, it seems as though they are turning from worked stone into soft mud. The light of this wall of light starts to flicker, like a fluorescent light bulb starting to go bad. As it starts to flicker, you all start to hear a Yoxotakatak, Yoxotakatatulu, Cthulhu Fatugan. And the door starts to crack and splinter. I want to remind you this door was made of adamantine. There is a rumbling noise. The door explodes outward, sending shards of of adamantine towards you. A large-sized, gibbering mouther stands before you, growling. And that, my friends, is where we'll end tonight's session.
Oof.
To pick back up with the gibbering mouther fight at the beginning of next session.
It's time to fight a gibbering mouther.
That'll be it.
We haven't fought one of those in a
That'll
while.
be it. Yeah, if you guys had any sympathy for Hunclay, I hope it's all gone. This man was a monster.
Oh, yeah, no,
absolute
I mean-
friggin' monster.
Yeah.
A bad
Yeah, he's
person.
a horrible human being.
Horrible human being. Absolutely horrible human being. Wonderful, 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 wonderful session, everybody. Great job. Let's talk turkey. Let's talk some experience points. So you guys, let's see. You released some demons. You released a shadow monster.
Mhm.
You killed some things. So let me just do some quick calculations. Blowski, go ahead.
Last session we did not get XP. We just got. You said you're level 4, so
Yep.
we're just at the base of level 4.
You were just at level 4. You were like 100 points
Okay.
shy, and I just was like, just take the extra
Yeah.
All right.
100. Yep.
So we're
Okay.
9,000
All right,
flat.
so-
I just want to make
9,000.
sure we're starting at.
And next level's 15, right? 'Cause we're on the mid track.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus. You all gain 1,900 experience points.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
Pretty
And I
good,
just want to
pretty
say, great session, everyone. It was nice to be back. It's good to be with you
Yeah.
all. I thought you all did a fantastic job. You had a nice little fun fight there in the middle. And you guys are also about to find out why the Dreaming Dark is not a good thing to fuck with. All right? Not a good thing to fuck with. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. But it also might explain some of the weirdness that's been going on in town. It might explain some of the weirdness. But as I always ask at the end of every session, any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns before we wrap up Session 7 of Dragon's Demand?
good. Oh, good.
Oh, good to go.
Well, I hope next week I will have my DM costume in. I hope. Fingers crossed.
Oh,
It's supposed to be
yeah.
here Thursday. I'm very excited.
Oh,
Maybe
fingers
even for Pathfinder. I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna start doing better voices. I'm just gonna start being a better game master because I've been failing, you guys. And by failing, I mean I'm the best damn GM you know. But with that being said, as I always say at the end of every session, thank you to the players for playing. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. Happy gaming, everybody. We will catch you next week. Same game time, same game place for Session 8 of Dragon's Demand, the Wizard's Estate. #Gibbering Mouther time. Good night and be well. Cheers.